I'm 67 years old, and last week I signed over my $35 million oil company to my son-in-law Trevor because my daughter was dying of cancer. He promised to take care of her medical bills and our family legacy. The next morning he fired me and threw us out. But Trevor made one fatal mistake: he never read the fine print. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and let us know where you're listening in the comments. 3 months ago, my daughter Emma called me crying. She could barely speak through her tears. "Mom, I need to tell you something. The doctors found cancer. It's bad. Stage 4 pancreatic cancer, the worst kind you can get." Emma was only 35 years old. I drove to the hospital immediately. My baby girl looked so small in that hospital bed. The doctors say I have 6 months without treatment, maybe 2 years with the experimental therapy. Then we're doing the experimental therapy, whatever it costs. That's when Emma started crying harder. "Mom, insurance won't cover it. It costs $2 million. $2 million. I had built my oil company with my husband Harold over 30 years. It was worth $35 million. But most of that money was tied up in equipment and land. We'll find a way, sweetheart. We'll sell whatever we need to sell." Trevor walked into the room then. He'd been married to Emma for 3 years. "Mom, Catherine, I've been thinking about this all night. Let me help." Trevor sat down next to my chair. "You shouldn't have to worry about business right now. You need to focus on Emma. What are you suggesting?" "Sign the company over to me temporarily. I'll handle all the business decisions. I'll make sure Emma gets the best treatment money can buy." I looked at Emma. She was nodding at her husband with tired eyes. "Trevor's good with business, Mom. He can handle things while you take care of me." Harold had built that company from nothing. It was our family's entire legacy. But what good was a legacy if I lost my daughter? "Promise me you'll protect what Harold built. Promise me you'll take care of Emma." Trevor looked me straight in the eyes. "I promise, Mom, Catherine. Your husband's legacy is safe with me." I called my lawyer the next morning. Within 2 days, all the paperwork was signed. Trevor James Hutchinson was now the legal owner of Blackwell Oil Company. I thought I was saving my daughter's life. I had no idea I was handing over everything to a monster. The next morning, I woke up feeling hopeful for the first time in weeks. Trevor was handling the business. I could focus on Emma's treatment. I drove to my office like I had every morning for 20 years. That's when I saw the security guards at the front door. "Excuse me, I need to get into my office." The guard looked at his clipboard. "Sorry, ma'am. Mr. Hutchinson says you're no longer authorized to enter." "What?" "This is my company. I'm Catherine Blackwell. I'm just following orders, ma'am. You'll need to speak with Mr. Hutchinson." I called Trevor immediately. He didn't answer his phone. I walked around to the back entrance. More security guards. They had changed every single lock. That's when I saw Nancy Williams walking out with a box of her things. Nancy had been my business partner for 15 years. "Nancy, what's going on?" She looked like she'd been crying. "Catherine, Trevor fired me this morning. He fired half the staff." "He fired you? He can't do that." "He can. He owns the company now, remember?" I felt sick to my stomach. Trevor had promised to protect Harold's legacy. Instead, he was destroying it. Nancy and I stood in the parking lot like strangers. "Catherine, I heard him on the phone earlier. He's selling the company." "Selling it? To who?" "Murphy Oil Corporation. For $40 million. $40 million. $5 million more than the company was worth." Trevor was making a huge profit while my daughter was dying. I called Emma immediately. "Sweetheart, has Trevor paid for any of your treatments yet?" Emma started crying. "No, Mom. The doctors say I need to start treatments this week or it might be too late. Trevor had drained my company accounts. He'd stolen my business. And he wasn't even helping Emma. My son-in-law had played us both, and I had handed him everything on a silver platter." I drove straight to my lawyer's office. Charles Rodriguez had handled all of Harold's business deals for 20 years. "Charles, I think I made the biggest mistake of my life." I told him everything, how I signed over the company to Trevor, how he fired me and was selling everything. "Catherine, slow down. Let me look at the paperwork you signed." Charles pulled out a thick file from his cabinet. It was labeled Blackwell Oil Company, Corporate Charter. He studied the documents for 10 minutes. Then he started smiling. "Catherine, did Harold ever tell you about the company's safety protections?" "What safety protections?" Your husband was brilliant. He created a safety net you never knew existed. Charles opened the charter to a page covered in legal language. Harold built special clauses into the company structure. What kind of clauses? Any sale over $10 million requires unanimous board approval. That means every board member has to agree in writing. I was confused, but Trevor owns the company now. No, he doesn't. The transfer was incomplete. Charles showed me another page. Harold created a family trust that holds 51% of all voting rights. You are the sole trustee of that trust. What does that mean? It means Trevor can manage the company day to day. But he can't sell it without your written consent. My heart started beating faster. So the sale to Murphy Oil is completely illegal without your signature. Trevor doesn't actually own the company. He only has management rights. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Harold had protected me even after he died. Charles, can we stop the sale? We can do more than stop it. We can take everything back. Harold was still taking care of our family. My brilliant husband had saved us from beyond the grave. I marched into that office building the next morning with Charles right behind me. The security guards tried to stop us. Ma'am, you can't go up there. Charles showed them legal papers. Mrs. Blackwell is the majority owner of this company. Move aside. We took the elevator to the top floor. Trevor was sitting behind my husband's desk like he owned the world. Catherine, what are you doing here? I thought we agreed you'd stay out of the business. We need to talk, Trevor. About the sale to Murphy Oil. Trevor's face changed. He looked nervous for the first time. That's none of your concern anymore. Charles stepped forward. Actually, Mr. Hutchinson, Mrs. Blackwell owns 51% of this company through a family trust. That's impossible. She signed everything over to me. You have management rights only. Any sale requires her written approval. Trevor stood up and started yelling. You're too old to run a business. You don't understand modern oil markets. I understand that you've stolen from my family. I haven't stolen anything. I've been working to save this dying company. Charles pulled out bank statements. You've spent $5 million on personal expenses. Cars, gambling debts, luxury vacations. Trevor's face turned red. So what? I deserve compensation for running this place. What about Emma's treatments? You promised to pay for her cancer care. Trevor sat back down and looked at me coldly. Emma's going to die anyway. Why waste money on useless treatments? I felt like someone hit me with a hammer. You're talking about your own wife. My daughter. She's a liability now. I need to think about my future. That's when I realized the truth. Trevor never loved Emma. He married her to get to my company. My daughter was dying, and her husband saw her as a business liability. I left Trevor's office feeling disgusted but determined. He had shown me exactly who he really was. Charles and I drove straight to see Martha Fleming. She'd been our company accountant for 12 years. Martha, I need you to go through every transaction Trevor has made since he took over. Catherine, I've been worried about some of the spending. Let me show you what I found. Martha spread financial reports across her desk. Trevor has been moving money into personal accounts. How much money? $8 million total. Cars, gambling, personal credit cards, expensive trips to Vegas. $8 million. That was embezzlement. That was a serious crime. Martha, is this enough to have him arrested? Absolutely. This is grand theft and breach of fiduciary duty. Charles was taking notes. We can have him arrested today for embezzlement. I thought about Emma lying in that hospital bed. Trevor was letting her die while he spent our family's money on himself. Not yet. I want him to suffer first, like he's making Emma suffer. What do you have in mind? I want to activate every protection clause Harold built into this company. Charles smiled. That will freeze all of Trevor's access to accounts and contracts. Do it. Cut him off from everything. Martha started making phone calls. I'm freezing all company accounts and credit cards immediately. Charles called our bank. No more transactions without Catherine's personal signature. Within 2 hours, Trevor had no access to any company money. He couldn't pay his personal bills. He couldn't complete the Murphy Oil sale. I had gone from victim to hunter. Trevor was about to learn what happens when you steal from the wrong family. I called an emergency board meeting for the next morning. As the majority owner, I had every legal right. Trevor showed up looking angry and desperate. He'd been trying to access company accounts all night. Catherine, what did you do? All the bank accounts are frozen. I exercised my rights as the majority owner. I'm taking back my company. Charles stood up and addressed the room. Ladies and gentlemen, the sale to Murphy Oil Corporation is hereby voided. Catherine Blackwell resumes full control of Blackwell Oil Company. Trevor jumped up from his chair. You can't do this. I have contracts. Your contracts are worthless without proper ownership authority. Martha handed me a folder. Trevor, you're also being charged with embezzling $8 million in company funds. Trevor's face went completely white. Wait, we can work this out. You had your chance to be family. You chose greed over my dying daughter. The police arrived 20 minutes later. Charles had called them before the meeting started. Trevor James Hutchinson, you're under arrest for grand theft and embezzlement. Trevor started begging as they put handcuffs on him. Please don't press charges. I'll give everything back. You can't give back the time you stole from Emma. She could have started treatment weeks ago. Emma was waiting for me at the hospital. She'd heard everything from Charles. Mom, I'm divorcing Trevor. I never want to see him again. Good. You're dead to me too, she told Trevor as the police led him past her room. I wrote a check that afternoon for Emma's full treatment. $2 million from the company account. Emma started her experimental therapy the next week. 6 months later, she was in complete remission. Trevor got 5 years in prison. He lost everything: his freedom, his marriage, his reputation. I restructured the company charter to make it completely theft-proof. No one person can ever control our family legacy again. Harold's protection saved us. But I learned something important too. Trust is earned through actions, not promises. Family isn't about blood. It's about who stands by you when everything falls apart. Emma is healthy now. Our company is stronger than ever. And I sleep peacefully knowing that greed never wins against preparation and love. Catherine's incredible journey reminds me exactly why I love sharing these powerful stories of justice and family protection with all of you. If this story of a mother who refused to let greed destroy her dying daughter's future moved you, please show your support by hitting that like button. It really helps more people discover these amazing stories. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to listen to more stories about people who found hidden strength when everything seemed impossible, and who proved that justice does exist. Please share this video with someone who might be dealing with family betrayal or financial manipulation. Maybe it's a parent protecting their legacy from greedy relatives. Or maybe it's just someone who loves a good story about the power of preparation and smart planning. I want to hear from you in the comments. Have you ever had to choose between trusting family and protecting yourself from their greed? Your stories and experiences help build this amazing community of survivors and fighters. Remember, the people who built something great often hide protections you never see. And sometimes the best revenge is simply letting criminals destroy themselves while you watch from a position of strength.